Well, here we are, February 2015. Oh, it's starting to hurt. It really is. I love this magazine. We're going to bring it up again. We really are. So, and I was thinking that um my pile should be getting bigger for these because there's more books available at this juncture. However, I didn't realize it and put it in my head, but maybe the magazine knew that things were coming to an end in 1 year, 6 months, and they're starting to review less and less. Remember how sometimes this would be over 290? It's 248. The number of books in here is getting less. So, hey, welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina. This is where we read books, talk about books, no special effects, no theme music, none of that fancy smash stuff going on here. And if you could please hit the like and subscribe, I would appreciate it. As I just want people to see my channel. People don't see my channel. I don't have those big fancy thumbnails. I'm just not creative that way. So the people that have those big in-your-face thumbnails get your attention, but little on me, you just swipe on by. I mean, I've done all of J.D. Robin. We're gonna hit her again because I need her during the season. I've done all of Janet Ivanovich. We've done the James Patterson Women's Murder Club. We've done Alex Cross. We've done J.R. Ward's Black Dagger Brotherhood. It's real hot and heavy right now, so go check out all those videos. I did all 70 plus if-thens are out there. Vampires, Native Americans, Black authors, forensic, homicide, detective, lawyers, food cozies, food knitting, food cozy Amish. Whole bunch out there. So go check all those if-thens out. I have, as of to date, over 1,700 videos out there. Believe it or not. So anyways, we always start with Regency. The magazine ends with erotica. Most of the time we just skip that section. But the sections in between change each month depending on which section they are emphasizing that month, which section has the most books. But we are starting with Regency today. Let me see if there's anything in here. Let's see. Read the Baron. Fred LeBaron fights for authors. Read. And my computer glare is pretty bad. So let's get to it. Is there anything else in here? Bad Boys in Action. Helen K. Damon. We talked about her book last month. They never do the book and the interview in the same month. Well, rarely, but they really do that. All right. Let's get to it here. Regencies. Anybody a Cyndi Lauper fan? Girls just want to have fun. I am tone deaf, can't sing for nothing. But anyways, girls just want to have fun. 4.5 stars. The first installment of the Covent Garden Club's series is pure Galen. Maxwell Lord Dane is intrigued when his brother asks for help. He believes he's found a girl kidnapped nearly 20 years ago, and she's just tried to pick his pocket. The staid, upright lord is shocked by his captor's colorful language, but also intrigued by the beauty he unearths beneath the dirt. Marlowe is a thief and one of the best housebreakers among London's Seven Dials, but she has vague memories of a time when she was safe and beloved and called Elizabeth. Now she is trapped in Dane's home and compelled to endure his tutelage in the ways of the time. The more time the pair spend together, the more Dane is drawn to her. Aww. We should have used that for Secret Identity. Yes, we have Secret Identity if-thens. Or Amnesia. And we have, bets, gambling. I'm marrying you because I need to pay off my gambling debts, Regencies. Oh, I want to tell you, these two authors. If this is short enough, I'm gonna put pictures. If it's short enough, this my upload speed is a 2, and so this video, depending on the length, could take up to 15 hours to upload. So if it's short enough, I'm gonna put pictures in if I remember to, because sometimes I get distracted and forget. And then the video's uploaded, and I'm like, shoot, forgot pictures. But these are two of my authors, and it drove me bonkers that I have like 20 of their books, and these two are not one of them, and they weren't available anyplace else. Oh, they're on Amazon, but so I'll have to put pictures up. But I stood there looking at my shelf going, how come I don't have these two books? These are my authors. I hate that when it happens. I really do. So, Jillian Hunter, 4.5 stars. They don't have pictures. I have gone through this 3-4 times and have not found pictures of either one. Jillian Hunter. They have the other ones, but they don't have this one. Jillian Hunter, Forbidden to Love the Duke, 4.5 stars. Alternately humorous and poignant, this tale is one readers will take to heart. With few belongings left to sell and nowhere to go, Lady Ivy and her sisters protect their home at all costs. The Duke of Elworth has just arrived in the area and wants to meet his neighbors. When they greet him with a gun and slam the door in his face, he wonders what could be going on. Ivy soon learns the Duke needs a governess for his wards, and the desperation drives her to apply for the position. James discovers Ivy's secrets, and the deeper he delves into the family history, the more fascinated he becomes. So they're going to save the sisters with a marriage and a romance. And maybe introduce her sisters to some of his friends. I am still very frustrated. Don't hold it against me if I forget the pictures. Because I probably will. If the Viz account falls, Sabrina Jeffries. Again, I have 20 and 30 of her books. Just not these two. 4.5 stars. This is the perfect combination of adventure, mystery, and romance without one outweighing the other. The strong characters, the realistic emotion, and painful past add another layer to the exciting plot. Once the heir to the Viscount Rathmore, Dominic Martin, lost everything the night his brother's betrayal thrust him out of his place in society. Worse was that he had to betray his fiancée, Jane Vernon, to save her reputation. Now that his brother is dead, Dom can claim his titles and make plans to win Jane's heart again. Though she was hurt by his action, Jane needs Don's help to locate her cousin. Jane insists on accompanying him during the investigation, making it difficult for Dom to focus, and they fall in love. Aww. I'll probably forget to post these pictures. I am sorry. Let me say sorry in advance. In your wildest Scottish dreams, Karen Rainey. If she ever writes anything non-Scottish, it is like, huh? But she does write non-Scottish ones. But I just, every time I think of Karen Rainey, I think of Scottish Regencies. And I want to point out, naked guy on the cover. 1860 Scotland. Rainey's clever, carefully plotted novel reflects the power of her storytelling. At 17, Glenys McLean declared her love to Lennox Cameron. His stunned silence made Glenys feel foolish and pushed her into accepting the first proposal she received. Glenys moved to America and was a good wife for 7 years. Now a widow, she returns to Scotland, determined to keep Lennox at arm's length. Lennox was too shocked by Glenys' words to respond. In truth, he adored her. Now she's back, though he wants her to know he loves her. His shipbuilding company demands most of his attention. We'll see what happens. He's gonna need her help with the American stuff. And just in time for a Highlander. Right there. Sandy, what's the matter? Come here. Don't you hate it when you get meowed at? And you're like, what? And then meow again. And you're like, what? And they're like, meow. And you're like, what? And then you get up out of your comfy chair, coat, put your book down, put your beverage down to go see what's wrong. And she's just sitting there looking at you. Like, what? Oh, that wasn't me. Nope. Time to wash the face, lick the paw. Are you coming over here? Sandy? Come here. Come here. Come over here. Come here. I'm safe. Come here. What are you doing? Sandy. 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 She's directly behind me. Sandy. Here's the little troublemaker. Are you okay? You're Casanova's asleep and Smokey's asleep. I tried throwing the ball at you, and you did not respond. Go. She plays ball with the husband, but she will not play ball with me. Will not. Just will not. And my co-host is asleep across this over there. So that's why the bed's empty. And no one else is allowed in her bed but her. So no one else will go in her bed but her. Are you going to hang out? Alright, where was I? Oh, just in time for the Highlander. Oh, shoot. Where is it? Creedy has outdone herself with this romantic and witty sirens of the Scottish Borderlands debut. Duncan McHarg, a 21st century battle reenactor and history buff, suddenly finds himself in the middle of a real 18th century battle. His bravery earns him the respect of the clansmen and the unexpected heart of Clan Kerr's female leader. When Abby Kerr realizes Duncan is not a trained warrior, she takes it upon herself to teach him. As Duncan pledges fealty to Abby, neither knows her emotions and passions will be aroused. Duncan falls deeply in love with Abby, but bound by duty to his clan. She cannot marry him. Then, as suddenly as he appeared, Duncan is flung back to the present. Ah, shoot. Alright, my timing's going to be completely off for this. Okay. Alright. So we just did the time travel guy. I'll have to look into that one, see. Got 4 stars. Alright, Julia London. The Devil Takes a Bribe. The second Cabot Sisters installment puts 2 diametrically opposed characters together in a forced marriage. Okay. Readers will relish watching the hero and heroine grapple with personal issues as well as one another, with the added near-erotic love scenes. Ooh, we're getting a little on the E side, or the X side. In order to save her family and keep her mother's madness secret, Lady Grace Cabot devises a shame to lure a wealthy Viscount into marriage. Instead, it's his brother, the dour Earl of Meryton, Geoffrey Donovan, who kisses her senseless and whom Grace is forced to marry. For a man used to order, the impulsive, impetuous Grace is difficult to understand. Grace is relentless in her determination to get Geoffrey to express his feelings by opening themselves up to desire and giving their fantasies full reign. I can't do timestamps for this because I killed the video. So I'll have to I found this one. Catch a Falling Heiress, Laura Gerke. 4 stars. Gerke's is a charming, realistic romance built on slow growth of trust, and love. Earl Jack Featherstone is in need of funds, but that isn't the reason he wants to stop Lynette Holland from marrying a scoundrel in the past. Lynette made mistakes with men, but she's sure she's found the one. Until Jack prevents her beau from proposing and kissing her. Lynette may be ruined by society's standards, but she will not marry Jack. It's up to him to convince her of his sincerity. As Jack gains her trust and uncovers the passionate woman behind a facade of indifference, they fall in love. But a one possible twisty at the end could screw it up. You know, they always have the I gotta stop doing that. The speakers are on the side here. They always have their like slow get together, and then they have their romantic moment, and then they start planning the future. And just before the end of the book, the author's got to throw in that one little twisty hurdle for them to jump over. The Secrets of Sir Richard Kenworth. Julia Quinn. Have you seen my Bridgerton, if that? It's one of the first ones I did. Bridgertons versus the Mallory, because they were both equal size and length. But I'm telling you, the Sinsters rule. And please check out my Sinsters reading every single Saturday from now till Christmas. And maybe even a little further than that. Iris Smith is used to being overlooked, not singled out by a handsome, charming man. She has no idea what to do when Sir Richard Kenworth proposes after a week of courtship. Iris needs time, and that is the one thing Richard doesn't have. He needs a wife before the month is out. A single kiss witnessed by her aunt sets the plan in motion, and Iris finds herself married. Richard is a wonderful companion, yet Iris feels he's holding himself back. See what happens there. Have we done? Oh. How did these two get mixed? Oh, alright. You know, every time I say I'm gonna fix these books, and every time I screw up and don't fix these books. Oh, good Lord. I do not know. And it's always at the bottom of the pile. My leaning tower of books. That there. I know you're gonna come soon. And you. And you. Alright. 23. I can't. Firecombe. You know how to pronounce this, let me know. 4.5 stars, 1903 and 1933 England. Riordan reinvents the Gothic novel with a rich narrative that brings two women together across time. Riordan pays homage to Victoria Holt, Daphne Demure, and the like with a gripping, spooky tale where the house is as much a living character as the people. Adding interest to tidbits of medieval history, Riordan retains the haunting atmosphere of the genre. Pregnant and disgraced, Alice is sent to fear whatever the hell this place is, to give birth. While she waits, she cannot help but feel the house is turning into something malevolent. After meeting Tom Stanton, the owner, Alice becomes more curious about the home's history. Then she finds Lady Elizabeth Stanton's diary. Elizabeth had come to Stanton's Firecombe to await the birth of a child. After a series of miscarriages, Elizabeth delivers the baby girl, but her husband rejected the child, and Elizabeth fell into deep despair and was institutionalized. Only her desire to raise her daughter helped her return home. Now she's terrified another daughter will send her back to hell. Oh, okay. And a lady that is very, very hot right now. I've showed her book a few times. It's over there. But for this one, we'll just use the picture here. The Nightingale. Hannah Craft, a compelling World War II novel that will grab readers, draw them into the story of two sisters whose lives, beliefs, and world are torn apart by war. Told from two different perspectives and 50 years apart, the story is realistic, chilling, adventurous, and heartbreaking. I got 4.5 stars. Vivian and Isabel are as close as sisters most, even though they're very different women. Isabel decides her life in Paris, where she can be as bold as she wants. Isabel decides to live her life in Paris, where she can be bold as well. Vivian marries and, with her husband and daughter, lives out in the country. When Vivian's husband is sent off to fight, Isabel arrives to help run her estate. As the war escalates, their life change and relationships undergo radical changes. Isabel becomes involved with the resistance, aiding down Allied soldiers by ferrying them to Spain. Vivian must billet Nazi soldiers in her home or risk her daughter's safety. Okay. Alright. On to inspirational. And I really don't know. Beneath the City. C.E. Lorino. Right there. Does that look like an inspirational book to you, by the way? Yes, ma'am. What's up? Sandy? Yes, ma'am. What? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Where you going? Come here. She's back again. Alright, let's see here. The second installment in the Song of the Seer series is just as good as the first. Connor and Aang struggle to hold on to hope, makes them lovable characters whose reason resonate with readers. Connor and Aang are shipwrecked and separated on a foreign land and must learn to survive in order to stop the Red Druid back home. As Connor and Aang seek to find their way back to each other and to the Serene, they are tested beyond what they can bear. Aww. That's not, I don't think, not for me. Not for me. Oh, here it is. The Trouble with Patience. That looks better. Looks nicer. I don't know. It's my lighting. 4.5 stars. Patience is the perfect protagonist for this story, a spunky enough to hold her own against the cowboys and gold miners of the 1866 Montana. When Patience Kavanaugh moves to town and reopens her grandmother's boarding house, she gets more than she bargained for. As she grows close to Sheriff Jedediah Jones, she begins to dream of a future. However, when Jedediah's past is revealed, she has second thoughts. Okay. Crimson Cord. Full page. Four stars. Smith has captured the message of what took place in Jericho. The story of Jericho, the only home known by Rahab and her family, unfolds slowly and builds toward the events surrounding the rumors of the Israelites who camp and worship the one true God. The reader will be given a historic view of the treatment of women by those who worshipped idols and bowed down to rulers who were corrupt by greed. Rahab's father unknowingly arranges her marriage to a ruthless gambler who is eventually imprisoned for his unmerciless choices. Rahab must endure greater violence than any soul can imagine when she is sold into sex slavery. She hears rumors of the Israelites as she is kept her own prison and decides to consort with Israelite spies, hoping they will spare her life and give her a new freedom like she has never known before. Okay. Alright, this last one didn't come in. I'm just gonna do that. Okay. Mainstream fiction. Walking on trampolines. We got a bunch of pictures. We'll do them. Walking on trampolines is this one. Four and a half stars. Top pick. Whitting's novel, reminiscent of novels by Kristen Hanna, invokes all of the emotions the books could: joy, sadness, and truth that life is messy yet full of love. Annabelle Andrews and Talihu De Long become friends as children, and they have their inseparable since the day they met. They share their closest secrets and help each other through tough years and events. A horrific betrayal shatters their friendship and puts them on completely different paths, but they have to learn to get back together. Blue Stars. That was the one in the middle with the blue star. Emily Gray Tedrow. 4.5 stars. Tedrow's novel really tugs on the heartstrings as it spotlights military families. Lacey is a proud Army wife who's having a tough time keeping tabs on her son and the bills while her husband Eddie is fighting the war in Iraq. Literature professor Ellen is in legal guardian of Marine Michael, and she struggles to keep her mind on students' work. Sadly, both Edie and Michael are injured, which brings these two women together at the Walter Reed Hospital. Alright, and the last one, the one in pink, The House Witch. There's a lot to love in Schickel's debut novel, quirky side characters, magical hijinks, and subtle commentary on the social demands of suburban moms. However, the main character sometimes seems inconsistent in her emotional motivations. There are some points where she came off as unbelievable naive. The main character's best friend and aunt provide ample comic relief as well as much needy reality checks. The ending of this book, while satisfying, leaves some questions which could make for an interesting sequel. All that negativity and they got 4 stars. Allison Darling has always known she was a witch, but the former foster child put her spellbinding ways behind her in order to fit in. That is, until her local coven disguised as the soap-selling glamour girls come calling. Allison is ready to drink her magic potion until she realizes the price of greedy magic. Alright, let's move on to teen. We got our 3 pictures. Ignite, Sarah B. Larson, 4 stars, 4.5 stars. Fast-paced adventure filled with romance and the fight to follow your instincts ignite up to predecessor defy. As a main character, Alexa struggles to understand who she really is after years of hiding it from the world. By doing the impossible and defeating a dark sorcerer, Alexa has saved Anton from its own king. As King Damon is crowned and begins piercing the kingdom back together again, Alexa continues to serve as his loyal guard. While setting Damien onto the throne was her goal, Alexa knows it was also doomed any possible relationship between them. The last time we say goodbye. 4.5 stars. That's the one with the post-it note. 4.5 stars. Hand's latest is a moving, standalone, contemporary, young adult novel sure to bring on tears. 18-year-old Lexi is trying to deal with the suicide of her 16-year-old brother Tyler. While her mother is coming to a shell of herself, Lex has been going to therapy while avoiding her well-meaning friends and her ex-boyfriend. Then there's her father. Lex is not sure she can ever forgive him. See what happens there. Save Me, that was the last one on the cover. Elliot's first offering is a winner, a wild ride cloaked in mystery. This story will have readers perched on the edge of their seats. 4.5 stars. Cora Markwell was looking forward to an ordinary day to whale watching while she meets handsome David Wilson. They have an immediate connection even before she's thrown overboard by an aggressive whale and David saves her life. Ah, her hero. Alright. Sci-fi. I just saw this. Oh, there it is. The Diabolical Miss Hyde. We did steampunk too. If you haven't seen my If Then on steampunk, go check that out. And there's a short or another video somewhere out there of the husband showing off his creativity. 4.5 stars. The debut of Cars Electric Empire series features a fearless, imaginative world of magic, mystery, and literary illusion that is delightfully immersed and dangerously seductive. 4.5 stars. Dr. Eliza Jekyll is a talented crime scene investigator using her bevy of technical gadgets to hunt criminals in the dangerous, alluring world of an electric-powered Victorian London. But Eliza is hiding a second self, the vicious and impulsive Lizzie Hyde, who is set free by her famous father's elixir. When a new killer begins drugging and disembowering women, the powerful Royal Society sends the lethally charming Captain Lafayette to observe her investigation and discover her secrets. Interesting. I thought I had... Let's see if it's here. I don't see it. It's listed. I have it listed as being in the pile. When I made my pile, I took an inventory. But it's not in the pile. Oh. You could have told me. Greg Van Eekhout. 4.5 stars. Set in the same world as California Bones, Van Eekhout delivers another engaging adventure that, surprisingly for the genre, doesn't require readers to have read the previous books. After killing the Hyric of Southern California, astronomer Daniel Blackland has not only eaten half of the powerful wizard's heart, but he's also fled Los Angeles with a golem created by the hierarch named Sam in tow. While Sam appears and desires to be a normal teenage boy, he is the source created, coveted power that could fuel the destruction of the entire West Coast. Oops. Oh, sorry. I keep doing that. Oh, shoot. Okay. If there's anybody out there who doesn't know this by now, my number one author, who I will be talking, I'm trying to figure out how to do her again. I've done all 60 plus books, and I think we're going to go through and do quotes or something to do a reading. If you haven't watched those videos, please go check those out, and please hit like for all of them, please. But this is my number one author. I have all of these books, sometimes 2 and 3 copies of the books. In the beginning, the books were put out in paperback, and the only time they put out in hardcover was when they went in large print. And she updated them since. There's an extra couple of paragraphs that are not in previous books. So, especially the large print, you'll find that there's paragraphs missing out of it. And so sometimes, then about 10 years ago, I forget when they did it. I think maybe it might have been for the 50th anniversary. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I don't remember. But it was for some kind of special event. They reissued the first few in regular hardcover. So I probably have a hardcover large print, the new hardcover, the paperback, and an audiobook. And nowadays with Audible, I just collect Audible now. But up until about the 55, 56, around there, we have a book and we have a CD for every single book. If you didn't know, Eve Dallas is a lieutenant in the New York City Police and Security Department. She's married to the richest man in the world, Rourke. Peabody is her detective partner. And Peabody's real life partner is McNabb, but he's also a detective in the Electronics Division, EDD, the Electronic Division. Feeney was her former mentor. He is now captain of the Electronic Division. Mira is the department shrink. Rourke is her husband. Dr. Mira is Mira's husband. Whitney is the big boss. And Webster, he recently, but he was a thorn in Eve's, or potential love interest in Eve's side a long time ago. Trueheart, Baxter, her cop peeps. Nadine First, the reporter and author who's written books, and her books have been made into films, and now Eve is just recognized everywhere, and she hates it. Eve had an unusual upbringing that is discussed quite at length in the books. For the first 30, 40 books, it crescendos in New York and Death, and it gets less after that, but New York and Death is the crescendo of that childhood story. And Nadine has written, because Eve of her childhood was not used to socializing. So Mavis is now a rock star, is her best friend, and her husband is Leonardo. And where they're trying to expand Eve's friendship circle and get her used to social situations. The Christmas parties are always a fun thing. I wish J.D. Robb would expand them just an extra little chapter or two just for the fans. So, and then Nadine has just gotten a boyfriend that may or may not, something happened there. We don't know yet. And Mavis has had the kids, and Eve solves a murder mystery each book, and the relationships are developed and progress. We love to see the characters grow. We've seen Peabody grow from regular cop to detective. We've seen Trueheart grow. We've seen the cops in her division grow. We all have lengthy debates on the visitor's chair and the candy thief. So, Obsession in Death. I'm sorry, I could talk about these books for a very long time. 4.5 stars. It takes an astonishingly talented author to keep a series exciting and compelling for 40 books, but that is what superstar Rob has done with Flair. This is the 40th book. Um, the 40th hour will force Lieutenant Eve Dallas to look at her career and her life as she hunts for a fan who's obsessed with her has turned deadly. The book gets an A. When Lieutenant Eve Dallas and partner Peabody arrive on a murder scene, they are confronted by a message to Eve written on the wall above the body of attorney Leonard Baswick. The message claims that as Eve's true and loyal friend, the murderer felt compelled to kill Baswick for the disrespect she showed Eve. Eve fears that no matter what she does, her ultimate fan will continue to kill. She does. Oh, she does. She does. She does. She kills all of Eve's emissaries. Ah, Murder in the Queen's Garden. I just sort of. Murder in the Queen's Garden. 4.5 stars. Cormac delivers sharply researched and gracefully written novel set in the Elizabethan reign. The dramatic period is filled with intrigue, religious conflict, betrayal, and danger, which the writing brings up brilliantly. Kate Hayward, daughter of the chief magician, is smart yet vulnerable and willing to risk her life and her friends for Elizabeth. Kate, as the Queen's personal musician, is involved in the court life and the parties and gaiety taking place 6 months into Elizabeth's reign. The famed astrologer Dr. D is part of the illustrious group, but he is cast into a possible dishonor when a body is found in the Queen's garden and the further one of his men is murdered. The Queen asks Kate to investigate, placing her in mortal danger. Hey, and if you like these, go check out Fiona Buckley and watch my rant on all those books. I did all of them, but massive spoiler alert. I had assumed the series would end with book 24, 25 because Elizabeth was getting ready to. She was the last book was like approaching 1890, not 1890, 1690, whatever it was. And I know Elizabeth dies in 06, and I figured that's where the series would end. Unfortunately, Fiona died first. So we never get a wrap up of storylines. Casanova, what are you doing? Casanova, you don't go and jump on a sleeping female who you know will kill you. Alright. Tessa Harris, Shadow of the Raven, 4.5 stars. The Dr. Thomas Silkstone books have been an interesting and unique series set in 1784 and featuring an autonomous colonist from America. Harris looks at Georgian England through the fresh eyes of an outsider. She displays her complete historical knowledge with ease and graceful presentation. At times, in this 5th installment, the personal stakes have never been higher. Silkstone love Lady Lydia Farrell has not exactly had an easy time. She was married to the man suspected of murdering her worthless brother, and she feels compelled to try and save him despite his faults. All along, Lady Farrell is forced to suffer the fate of a capable woman who was not allowed to control her own identity. The story finds her confined to Bedlam, the notorious mental hospital, a convenient place to stash a woman to try and control her property. Oops. Not good. Not good at all. Oh. Another book I looked for and looked for and looked for. Shoot, I forgot to. Let me see if I can pull it up. I don't think I can pull it up, but I'm going to try. But I looked for this book. This is another book that I have this author, and I stood there and looked at my shelf, and looked at my shelf, and looked at my shelf, and going, how can I not have this book? Because I know I've had this book before. And I know I've had it. I know I've had it. Can you see it sideways? That works. Kate Carlisle, This Old House. It's the only way it's going to show. 4.5 stars. Carla has another dynamic series for Fixer Upper Mysteries, and I have recently inquired about 5 Fixer Upper books, so I think it's time to do a Fixer Upper cozy, don't you? And Kate Carla will be it. I've got to find this book. I know I have it. I've searched my house. Carlisle has another dynamic series with the Fixer Upper Mysteries. The small town of Light Cove is a place that will have readers wanting to be part of the quirky community. Contractor Shannon Hammer has already had her hands filled with the renovation of a Victorian house in Light Cove when she finds a beloved neighbor, Jesse, dead in his home. The uncle of Shannon's best friend, Jesse, has been part of her life since she was a child. Always one to tell tall tales, the former Navy officer had a story about finding a priceless necklace on a sunken ship. Wondering if this could have anything to do with his death, Shannon and Jane begin to investigate. We'll see what happens there. Lisa Gardner, Crash and Burn, 4.5 stars. When you crack open a book by Gardner, you know you are in for an astonishing twisty tale that will keep you guessing. She starts with what seems like a simple car crash that turns into a complex thriller. Nikki Frank manages to crawl out of the wreck of a car accident, but things really get bad when she begs her rescuers to find her 6-year-old daughter, Vera. No sign is found of the little girl, and Sergeant Watt Foster is disturbed when Nikki's husband arrives and reveals they don't have a child. Nikki was already suffering from post-concussive syndrome before the car accident, so this latest blow to the head may have made things worse. Or is her husband hiding the kid? Denying her existence. Is it one of those? Oh. And I'm pretty sure this woman appeared recently in some knitting cozies. Guilt by association. Oh, no, wait. Sorry. Sorry. Got that one too. Darned if you do. Monica Ferris, the long-running series continues to chant readers. Hoarding is the topic explored in the latest needlecraft mystery. When a local hoarder is hurt and must accept help from others to clear the house, the results are disastrous. They all get greedy and they all want everything. When a tree falls on Tom Reardon's house, he must be rescued from the rescuers. Tom hoarding is a disaster, so while he's in the hospital, his cousin Valentina comes to make his house more habitable with the help of Betsy and the Cruel World Monday Bunch. Once inside Tom's house, the group realizes he may have some very valuable items, and then Tom is murdered while he's in the hospital. Ooh, somebody wants his stuff. All right. I was talking about this before. Guilt by association. 4 stars. Smith pulls out all the stops in her latest mystery featuring Capri DeLuca. Murder surrounds her latest home staging job as a near family friend is killed with 2 possible love interests. The house stager Caprice DeLuca is looking with her mother, best friend Gisela home. On the day Caprice notices her client's car is still there and goes searching for her, only to discover the client is dead. Since the victim was a good friend of her family, her mother asked her to look into the murder. It appears the deceased was not who she claimed to be, and it's up to Clarice to find out the reason for her murder. I kind of got lost in we're gonna look into this one. I'm doing, I'm a book person. I like the book mysteries. I just read a book mystery, and the video will be out in a couple weeks. And I'm sitting there screaming at the screen going, this is my type of mystery. I like Lorna Barrett. I like Vicky Delaney. I like the rest, Nora Page, that have the book mysteries. They work in a bookshop, and they solve murder mysteries, especially Lorna Barrett and Alison Brooke and a few others. And so this one, when I spotted this one, I'm like, oh, I'll have to check this out. Let's see what it says. 4 stars. Arlington once again manages to successfully create an intriguing mystery in a town that should be incredibly picturesque and free of murder sprees. Lila Wilkins doesn't have time for any funny business when the owner of the literary agency she works for, planning a multitude of events for the arrival of a local boy turned popular TV host, Damon York. Her schedule is completely full. Unfortunately for Lila, trouble and distractions still find her, and she not only finds a skull buried in the backyard, but also a member of the garden club winds up dead. Up. Let's see what happens there. Alright, oh, no. Alright, mysteries are my favorite. Okay. Lord have mercy, leave it to me to find. What are they? No. So why did I get this? No. It's not a mystery, and it's not... Was this for the last? I wonder if this was for the last. Let me look here. I don't see... Oh. Alright, let's look here. Huh. Okay, it is here. Okay, I don't know why I didn't see it. Okay, Karen Robarts. Romantic suspense. 4.5 stars. Secrets and trust issues keep the protagonist on a knife's edge, thrust into a murderous maelstrom. Riley Cowan plays a dangerous game due to her distrust of authorities. Summoned to a location by her estranged husband, Jeff, Riley Cohen is horrified to discover his hanging body. Since Jeff's father is in jail and infamous for perpetrating a $1 million financial scam, Riley doesn't believe Jeff committed suicide. Many dangerous people want their money back, so protecting Jeff's mother and sister is top priority. Finn Bradley and his temporary FBI partner Bax have Riley under surveillance and hope she will lead them to the money. And to possible suspects? Playing Dirty. Helen K. Damon. We picked her out in the shorts in the beginning. 4 stars. Few people write romantic suspense like Damon, as the post-pounding complex The Bad Boys Undercover proves. The sizable cast and detailed premise may appear daunting. The fast-paced action and unpredictable plot will keep readers absorbed and craving more. Ever since he joined the Alliance, a joint force undercover operation between MI6 and CIA, Ford Decker has gotten used to violence, danger, and lying. It never bothered him until he met Shay Alexander. Even though Ford has fallen for her, he knows he has to keep his head, because Shay's cousin is the prime suspect in a massive intelligence breach. Burned from the past relationship, Shay can't explain how things with Ford got so hot so soon, and his true identity is revealed. Ooh. And let's move on to contemporary romance. And sorry. Echo Lake, Colin Niggers. 4.5 stars. Niggers once again proves with detailed description and realistic perspective as her spin intricate web of romance mystery. Heather Sloan's latest jab for Sloan & Sons construction comes when a complication, namely a former Knightsbridge bad boy turned sexy federal cop who her 5-year-old brothers all but ran out of town. Brady Hancock vowed never return to Knightsbridge, but when his friend, mentor, and former diplomat takes up residence and needs surveillance expertise, he has no choice but to return home. Seeing Heather also tempts him again. See how that goes. And Bella Andre, It Must Be Your Love. 4.5 stars. The sparks fly off the page in Andre's latest Seattle Sullivan book. The theme of first love is strong as the character's denial of their feelings. Mia Sullivan seems to have everything: a successful business, a loving family, and great friends. There is one thing missing: love. She loved once and completely shattered her. Deciding to let musician Ford Victor go was the hardest thing she ever did. Ford has an incredible career selling out stadiums and recording hit after hit, but he still thinks about the one that got away. Deciding to take matters into his own hands, he sets out to get Mia. From the first minute they see each other, old feelings come back. Aww. And Linda Lael Miller. If you don't know it, there's 3 books. I should show them. I've showed them in the past. Excuse me. She wrote a vampire trilogy. 4 stars. The second in the Bride of Bliss County series is just as charming and romantic as the first. When her friends make a pact to find husbands, the determination begins to pay off. Hadley Stevens found her Prince Charming, and now it's Melanie Nolan's turn. Although she's found success and happiness as a jewelry designer, something is missing. She's always had an attraction to local chief of police Spence Hogan, but he's just not husband material. Well, maybe he is. You just gotta give him a chance. And, what you call it? I forgot what I was gonna say. Don't forget to check out the McKettricks and the Creeds. Those books do good. Alright. Now, we are on to Paranormal. And these books are all over the place. Let's see if we can do this. Wait a minute, just... Oh, she's here. Okay. Let's see. Bound by Flames. For Nostars, the great news is that it's time for the next Night Prince novel, and it's everything we hoped. The learning curve for marriage between passionate Vlad and Lila is proving to be a bit steep, and it doesn't help that they are still under attack. Their honeymoon is turning a bit rocky as Vlad and new vampire Lila continue to clash over how involved Lila should be in trying to help their arch enemy Silig. Unfortunately, Silig has entries to plot his assault, so Vlad and his crew are playing catch up. See what happens there. Miss Feehan. If you haven't seen my Feehan videos, please go check those out. I should do a new one because I've gotten some more books since I did the video. Viper Game, Christine Feehan, 4 stars. Superstar Feehan takes her long-running Ghost Walker series, introduces a new cast of highly intriguing characters who are sure to be stars of their own books. Wyatt Fontaine returns to his nanny's home in the Bayou to discover something is very wrong. Thankfully, Wyatt has brought his Ghost Walker buddies Mackley and Ezekiel Fortunes with him. Something odd is happening at the plastics plant that has been turned into a fortress, but there are ornaments to keep something out or to keep something in. Wyatt and his friends encounter a desperate young woman called Pepper and the dangerous toddler she protects. This was an accidental find. The Accidental Dragon. 4 stars. From the very first crazy adventure, Cassidy proved that her accidentally paranormal series was going to be unforgettable and hilarious. It's just figures that Oops trio Nina, Marty, and Wanda attempt to take a vacation would go wildly astray. Nina, Marty, and Wanda's vacation is interrupted when Auntie Q's antique store unexpectedly goes up in flames. Firefighter Mick Malone can't figure out what happened. He was having his usual verbal sparring match with Tessa Preston when her store caught fire. What's even weirder is that the flames came right out of Mick's mouth. Oops. Okay. Ghost Killer, Robin D. Owens. 4 stars. It's only been a few weeks since brand new ghost seer Claire Seema received her powers, but practically everything in her life has changed. Claire has accepted that she must use her powers or die, but her relationship with P.I. Zack Slade is new and uncertain. Owens is a terrific storyteller. She has a great deal gift for creating characters who leap off the page. When Zach's landlady, Mrs. Filton, asks for Claire and Zach's special help, they can't say no. Mrs. Filton is extremely worried about her great-grandson, Coden. 7-year-old Coden has told Mrs. Filton what a terrible ghost is stalking him. Unfortunately, Caden's parents don't believe him in the supernatural, but it appears Coden has inherited the psychic gene. Claire, her ghost dog, Enzo, and Zach all head to Creede, Colorado to find out what's going on. They soon discover the ghost is real. Deadly spells. J. Wells. No matter how much she would like to, Kate Prospero can't escape her family's past connections to dangerous covens and dirty magic. A call to a church reveals the gruesome murder of a man Kate knows from childhood. After Kate's hated uncle Abe Prospero finally went to prison, his right-hand man Charm held the coven together. It's Charm's subsequent brutal and visible murder. Sorry. Excuse me 1 second. Sneezes interrupt us. A call to church reveals the gruesome murder of a man Kate knows from childhood. After Kate's hated uncle, Abe Prospero, has finally gone to prison, his right-hand man, Charm, held the coven together. It's Charm's subsequent brutal and visible murder that the start of a coven war. It appears so, but something about the killer has new Babylon Mayor John Valos and Kate Boss, Special Agent Miranda Garda acting odd. So what's going on? We'll see what happens. Excuse me. If you haven't seen my Faye, check out the Faye and the naked guy on the cover. Followers of Moaning's blockbuster fever series will certainly find their patience rewarded in this deeply complex, heady, and action-packed 7th installment. Though Danny O'Malley is still very much a central figure in the story, a number of odd wounds, sins, and betrayals return to haunt Mac, Barons, and their band of fierce warriors, making this surprisingly emotional story, especially for those deeply engaged fans who have followed the series from beginning. Since the wall between humankind and the Fae came down, Michaela Lane has defended her chosen city and those she loves. But with the horror's frost melting and tempers flying, the war is getting even more treacherous. Not only has her former best friend Danny turned against her, but the Christian Mac Kelter has captured and is being held by the Crimson Hag, driven deeper into madness with every day. When Mac's trust in Barons is shaken by a startling betrayal, she is forced to question why. Not good. Poor Mac. Poor Mac. And we have one Harlequin presents The Redemption of Darius Stern. See. 4 stars. By Carol Mortimer's billionaire Darius Stern could have any woman he wants, but the one who caught his eye keeps retreating from his advances. Every time Miranda Jacobs rejects him, he wants her more. 4 years ago, a terrible accident ended her promising career as a ballerina, and she was so focused on her craft she never made time to date. Now she has scars. Sorry. She even less willing to put herself out there. So when the tall, dark, and brooding billionaire pursues her, she's in way over her head. Mortimer's tale is forgiveness and starting over for her scarred, stubborn heroine and arrogant hero. See what happens. And that is the end of Flashback Monday for February 2015. We'll see what happens next week for March. Please go check out the rest of them. You may find something to read. You may find something really good to read. You may find a new author. These are just awesome. These books are still available today. They're still available everywhere. You can still read them. There's quite a few ebooks out there. We'll see what happens next. Have a good day.